stories? Where's our representation?
Would you give us the pleasure of reading an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray is gonna be a real father this time around. Thank you.
What is the greatest lesson you think that Monk learns in this journey?
I think that over the course of the film, Monk's self-isolation is challenged. His intellectual self-isolation, his emotional isolation, and I think perhaps he becomes a little bit more resigned and familiar with the world around him, and he accepts it for what it is, without compromising. Well, he compromises in some ways, but he does so on behalf of family largely. Mm-hmm. And I think those are, you know, that side of our story. Yes, it's satirical. Yes, there are comic elements. There's a lot of sharp social commentary on race and identity and culture. But the heart and soul of the film is really a story about a man, his relationship to love and family.
I don't think I've seen you in a character such as this before.
Righteous.
And he seemed so broken and hurting, but also the most wise.
Yeah! I think that happens with the youngest a lot.
The babies?
They're able to witness everything that's happening around them and see them with like a level of clarity that sometimes folks can be too close to. But he is hurting, you know? He's at a major transition in his life. And it was a very different character for me, but also very much me too. I think you bring yourself to everything that you do, but then you have to say like, myself in these particular circumstances would behave differently. Folks close to me know that I'm a little crazy. So when they see it, they'll be like, Negro, I know that. That's you being you that to a certain extent. But it's also just, he's a lot of fun to play when you don't have to be the person that's in control.
And that's together.
You know what I'm saying? And then everybody else is trying to like make sure, are you gonna be all right? That's, as an actor, that's a fun place to live.
Gosh, Tracee, your character, Lisa.
Thank you.
If I could be someone, I would want to have the dynamic, the air, the humor.
Come on,
Oh, thank you.
In her.
Let's
So
go.
how much of Lisa is Tracee and vice versa?
Kind of none to a certain extent. I certainly don't smoke. It was actually really lovely for me to turn the volume down on what I usually do.
Right.
And be a little bit more my temperament, Tracee's temperament, but she's not me. There's a way that Lisa is holding all the pieces selflessly. I'm a bit more, do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I'm sure. I need some recognition.
Do you see what I'm holding? Lisa really also in what she does. You know, she is a Planned Parenthood doctor, you know, and it was really important to me to offer life to that on screen without that being what she's talking about. But she's dedicated her life to being of service to others at her expense.
Monk, your books are good, but they're not popular. Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
You know what I mean.
You know, when you're adapting a screenplay and you hear Jeffery Wright's voice, but yet you haven't directed a film yet.
Yeah.
How does that pitch go?
Yeah, I think the pitch goes that I told Jeffery I didn't have a plan B. I said, you're the only person that I can think of when I sit down to think of how I'm going to cast this movie. He was truly, as I said, as you just said, I had his voice in my head as I was writing the script. He was the only person that I was thinking about. And so it was really just coming to him and saying, like, listen, man, I basically wrote this part for you. Are you willing to come with me on this journey? And thankfully he was.
Can you talk to me about Coraline's heart in this film?
I think she's a woman who's gone through some things. We're talking about two people, Monk and Coraline, who are mature. They've been in love before, they've been in like before, they've been in lust before, all those things. But right now, I think they're really looking for some kind of purpose, relationship purpose. Certainly Monk is looking for it throughout his entire, family, and also with perhaps a love interest. But Coraline is too, but she's still a little messy. She hasn't got it. She's honest about where she is. I love that her heart is open, because something that shuts down when you go through life is you get a little jaded and you get a little disappointed. It's hard to remain enthusiastic about it, and she is enthusiastic. And so that's a really good model for women.
There's already so much buzz because of the movie deal.
Michael B. Jordan is circling.
We want to put him on the cover in one of those scarves, I guess you would call them, tied around his head.
A do-rag?
Do-rag, that's it. Do-rag and a tank top with the muscles showing.
Somebody call the fire department.